Hi there, Gemini. How are you guys doing? I hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your October reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. Oh, for those of you who already know my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. So we're going to be doing a pick card reading by the end of the session. I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently for the monthly because I think we're going to be doing how do they feel about you instead of a future in-depth or even advice. And then don't forget to check your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. Me personally, I realized it with my readings and all general readings out there on YouTube. I resonate a lot more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign or moon sign or rising sign or what have you. So you might want to check that one out too. And also, this is general reading, so the rules might get reversed, all right? So let's see, what do we have here? Gemini. So much drama. Okay. Terus, okay, so what is the overall energy that you got here in your relationship sector? You have the Five of Swords, you have the Five of Cups, and you also have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So number 5 is a disruptions, right? Because you come from the number 4, which provides stability. Everything about 4 is like the square, right? It kind of like provides stability. And then comes 5 to disrupt the stability of the 4 so that it could rebuild itself to be of something that is built on a much more stronger foundation. And I feel that there's going to be like a little bit of disruptions in your relationship sector in the month of October, because I feel that you feel like a little bit drained by your relationship or your partner, whoever that is, because I do know like a lot of Gemini people in my life, and I kind of like noticed that Gemini has the tendencies to kind of like overgiving or overextending themselves. So you kind of like give your cups everywhere, and then you forgot to kind of like fill it for yourself. So you're kind of like tired of always putting other people's first, and then the way that you realize it is that you're kind of like are in a state of when you're bleeding in love. So now you guys are like this, especially we've just kind of like moved forward from the full moon in Aries, which is like a good period for you to start anew. So you have no problem at all of kind of like removing toxicity out of your life, people who just drains you or took you for granted and everything like that, even though it pains you to do so, because Gemini is, kind of like a little bit similar with Sagittarius. They have like a little bit of a difficulties of cutting ties, of burning bridges, because oh my god, like I spend so much time getting to know you. It's kind of like fine for us to become friends, but you kind of like feel the need to remove whoever it is that is toxic in your life for good, because you just can't take it anymore. Like the Ace of Cups in reverse is not really a good feeling, because it's like, what's my inspiration? I don't even feel good about myself. How can I feel good about, how can I be positive, with my future and all that if I don't feel good about myself? So what is the overall challenge of the relationship sector is that you got the Two of Cups and you also have the Eight of Swords. So one person in this relationship is in a state of a mental entrapment. They're still kind of like stuck in a behavioral pattern that probably is dictated by their childhood trauma or the past relationship that kind of like hurt them so bad. And then you have the Two of Cups here. It means that there are two people falling out of love, or there's kind of like two people not meeting eye to eye when it comes to love languages. It's just like two people, you and your partner, is not feeling loved at this very moment. So in the past, this person was trying to figure you out, right? Because you were shutting them out. You were the Four of Cups like this. And then they have like a little bit of a difficulties, like, well, what is going on with Gemini? Why is it all of a sudden Gemini became so detached, became so aloof, became so nonchalant and everything like that? So they're kind of like confused about it. And I feel that in the past, you really, really needed some time for yourself, because you wanted to isolate yourself. You wanted to do things for yourself. You want to understand yourself better, have like a lot of more in-depth conversation with yourself, and you're trying to make those twins that kind of like kept on having a conflict inside of you via peace. So they're kind of like confused about what was going on with you. So they were hurt in the past, Gemini. Okay, because they were trying to read you out, and I feel that they feel that you were shutting them out in the past. And that need to fill your own cup is going to get a lot stronger in this month of October, because I feel that you just want to do things on your own. You just want to enjoy your alone times. You probably do want to kind of like book a traveling for yourself. You just want to, read a book. You just want to be alone. You don't want to be not bothered and everything like that. And well, yeah, this person is hurting even more. This person is hurting even more. They just don't know what to do about you, what to do. Should they come at you in a very aggressive manner, trying to confront you or whatever? Or should they kind of like be as detached as you guys are and everything like that? Anyway, they do, whatever they do, they always end up getting hurt. And they also feel that you guys are kind of like quite a little bit judgmental with them. So they feel that you guys already put them kind of like in a box. So for instance, if you believe that your partner is a liar, then, you just believe that they're a liar. So you're no longer the objective Gemini that you once were, because, Geminis are the most understanding and embracing people I've known. My mother is a Gemini, my aunt is a Gemini, I have like a lot of friends who are Gemini. You guys are embracing, you're non-judgmental. But when you hate somebody, when you just dislike somebody, when you kind of like, when that light ticks, like ding, this person is not a good person, it's just like suddenly they became your enemy, and nobody wants to be an enemy of a Gemini, right? Nobody. You kind of like dislike their flakiness. You kind of like dislike, you feel that with this person you cannot rely to, you cannot deem them to be trustworthy enough. You feel that this person's mood is kind of like quite unstable. So in 1 minute you could have like the greatest talk in your life, and then on 1 second they could be totally complete different characters, and you just feel unsafe to love this person. That means 5 cards in the future. I just like talking in my native tongue. Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, 3 of Cups, you know what? This person is then going to try to come correct with that Ace of Pentacles. So they're going to kind of like give you some promises for the future. They try to make plans with you. They try to make amends in here. But I feel that you have so much bottled up emotions inside of you that it's kind of like quite difficult for you to act normal around them, no matter how much you try. You can put the widest smile in your face, but you cannot hide what you're feeling on the inside. And it shows, you know what I mean? It just shows. Depending on, actually this future card, there's multi-interpretation. So if you're still wanting to give this relationship a try, I would suggest you guys to start communicating transparently about what is it that you're feeling. Because whoever it is that you're dealing with, yes, they're trying to make amends. Even though probably the information or the message that you're going to relay to them is going to overwhelm them and everything like that, but they are still very much optimistic and wanting to work things out with you, that I could see them actually making some plans and making some future arrangements, that kind of like cement the stability of the relationship in the future. and they're going to try to rekindle the friendship aspect of the relationship too. So they would want to hang out with you more. You're probably going to see more text messages or more conversations coming up for them because they want you to open up. So if you want to make this work, I think you need to start opening up with them, communicating exactly what has been bothering you, all of that pent up anger and all of those bottled up emotions that you've been feeling probably for years or months or weeks or what have you. But you need to start saying it out loud to them, because if not, I could actually see you, even though you're fine with them, but it's just that your behavior is a bit awkward because you don't know how to act normal. So this person is then going to get confused because it's like you're smiling, but they kind of like can sense the coldness from you. You know what I mean? You're probably going to give them like a little bit of a sarcastic remarks here and there. And where does that come from, Anisa? That comes from that bottled up emotions. Once you get it out in the open, you are going to be lifting so much burden out of your chest. You're going to feel so much better about yourself. Because if you keep on, focusing on that bottled up emotions, you guys became extremely mercurial, meaning that you guys are just focusing on one tiny details of this all the time. Whereas here at the bottom of the deck, you have a temperance card, as your advice, which means that you need to look at it from a bigger picture. Because this person is really even in the past, in the now, they're kind of like showing like a little bit of consistencies because they're also angry. They're hurt, so they're doing things out of impulse. But in the past and even in the future, I could see them trying to read you, trying to observe you, try to make amends, try to make things right. So it's up to you if you want to make this work. I'd suggest you to kind of like start opening up with them. However, if you choose to move on from this person, you're going to be meeting somebody. Probably sun sign would be Cancer or Capricorn or Scorpio. So if you're single and ready to mingle and you want to find somebody new, so you're probably going to be meeting a Cancer or a Capricorn or a Scorpio, or maybe an earth sign, or maybe a Gemini and Virgo. This person is going to be introduced by you through friends. And the thing is that when you kind of like jump into your next relationship, I feel that you guys became like a little bit of a Capricorn side. So you're going to ask them questions that matters. Like, what do you do for a living? How much do you actually make? Do you have any type of liabilities whatsoever? Do you have kids? You're starting to have this future-oriented type of thoughts when it comes to approaching a relationship in the future, which I feel is going to be a good thing, though. But here's the thing, there's no denying that the Tower card is still in reverse in here, which means that there's still a lot of pent-up angers and there's still unfinished business that lingers within you should you decide not to pour out all of your emotions towards whoever it is that hurt you in the past. So confront them, send them messages, tell them how you feel, not because you're expecting anything, but you're doing that for you. Because, this is one of the things that I realize about air signs is that you guys do have a tendency to fall for people who makes you think, who makes you solve the puzzle. Right? Because what you think, you feel. So the more complicated a person is, the more that you're trying to analyze this person, like, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean? And everything like that. The more this person is kind of like here, the more you feel it. So with you still harboring on your unfinished business, is going to be extremely difficult for you to move on to something that is better. So you need to start getting closure for yourself. Even if they don't reply it, at least you can conclude it by your own. You know what I mean? So yeah. So now, let's move on to the two people scenarios, meaning that if you guys are dealing with one person, your reading ends now. I'm going to be putting a timestamp over here to when the pick card reading starts. So now, this is going to be a reading for if you guys are dealing with two people. Let me clarify some things first, Gemini. Okie dokie. Right, so person A is somebody who you never let them in emotionally ever again. And this person is kind of like, I think they fall in love with the illusion of you or what they made up inside of their brain about you. So their fantasies and everything like that. Did you ever trust them enough to let them into your heart? Not really. It was there, but not really. There was a lot of skepticism from you. There was like a lot of trust issues from you. And it proved because in the now, person A is acting quite irresponsibly with the Knight of Wands in reverse in here. So it's either you'd see them as a flaky person or an indecisive person or a person who goes hot and then goes cold and everything like that. But now you kind of like realize that they are not really going to be able to offer you the collective happiness that you're looking for, and this person is not going to be able to fulfill your emotional needs. I could actually see you guys, in the future dealing with 3 people. So there's going to be somebody new coming forward. I think it's going to be an earth sign. Because this person wants to settle. However, what happens with person A, I think person A is going to come back though. But when person A is going to come back and do something about you, you guys are going to be approaching the relationship that you've had with them with a very, very pragmatic manner. So whatever sweet words that they're uttering, whatever promises, whatever fantasies that they might be saying about, the future together with you and what have you, you're like, yeah, that sounds sweet, but I'm not going to be hopeful and expecting anything out of it until I see the proof that they really mean it, until I see the tangible proof. And then we got person B. Person B got extremely hurt when you decided to isolate yourself. I think with this person, you despise this person very much because you kind of like think of them in a certain way that is bad. And that was one of the reasons why you were shutting them off in the first place. They might accuse you of having somebody or having like a third party situations, blah, 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 blah. But truth of the matter is you feel they were being quite toxic with you and you needed some times alone by yourself so that you guys could heal. Now, what's funny is that they're kind of like still hurting because of that. You really do think badly about this person though. It's either you really think this person is a liar, a narcissistic, a cheater, a scammer, whatever that is, but you guys really, really, you really despise them. So what happens in the future is that person B is going to do something. I don't know what that is, but like they're going to be doing something because this is a general reading. Yeah? It's either they're going to send you a message or maybe they're going to try to give you the impression that they're still around by probably contacting one of your siblings or your parents or your mutual friends, or they're kind of like showing up somewhere. Anything. That's their effort, right? They're trying to manifest this relationship back into happening again. But because you guys are so angry and, during the time where you were isolating yourself to the now where you kind of like really, really think badly about them, there were kind of like a lot of things that you wish you would want to say to them. But because you guys are the nicest people on earth and then you guys are very polite, you decided not to. So I feel that when they do that, I feel that you guys are going to be extremely either sarcastic or you're going to be very, very cold or whatever that is. And that kind of like, it rooted from, this pent up anger and bottled up emotions that you guys are feeling. So you guys are going to be extremely, extremely scary to deal with. If I were person B, I wouldn't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? You guys are scary. All right, so I think that is it for my reading for you guys. Now let's move on to the pick a card reading. Okie dokie, Gemini. I have 4 piles of cards with me now. I think I'm going to hold it like this because this is such a big deck. But anyway, I have 4 piles of cards with me. Pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you 20 seconds of silence so that you guys could concentrate. Again, this is how do they feel about you. So you could choose as much as you can depending on how much people you want to ask about. All right, so let's go. Okay, are you done? If you're not done, you can, So for those of you chose pile number 1, you have the 8 of Cups, you have the 10 of Pentacles, you have the 9 of Swords, and then you also have the Lover's card. There is 2 Lover's card in this deck of mine. Why did you walk away from me, Gemini? I've shown you everything to convince you that you can trust me, but you decided to kind of like walk away. This person right now is having like a lot of depressive thoughts, and they kind of like maybe not able to sleep well at night simply because they're kind of like observing you very, very badly, and they tried always to try to figure out what you guys are up to, how are you guys doing, and everything like that, because they're trying to make a move here. See, there are 2 Lovers cards in this particular deck of mine. The first one is this one, and the second one is when the knight and the girl is kissing. So this is the approaching phase of the Lovers card. I think this person wanting to have like a lot of closure from your side, because this person feels that, what is wrong? What is wrong? Regardless of what happens, I know some of you are mad because like, what do you mean what happened? And you said, no, this is what they're feeling, all right? Okay? So what happened? Like, what is wrong? I tried to show you. I have provided you with something that I thought you needed. Haven't I showed you how stable I am, or maybe how much I make, or whatever that is? Like they feel that they have shown you something, and they were trying to impress you so much. So they're like a little bit confused too. Why did you walk away emotionally, Gemini? Do they love you? I don't think so. I think it's just much more about mere curiosity right now. I think they're just finding closure for themselves. I think one of the reasons why they're kind of like keeping their heads down, and they're dealing with a lot of insomnia and, depressions and overthinking about you and stalking you, observing you, whatsoever, is because they're trying to find closure for themselves. Once they found that closure, I think they're going to be at peace with themselves. It's like they kind of like wanted to approach you, but also at the same time afraid to kind of like let go or let down their pride. Because image is very, very important for them. What other people think of them is very, very important for them. So what you think about them is also very important to them too. So when you walk away, it kind of like impacted their self-esteem, which was non-existent in the first place anyway, because they needed, the validation of other people to make them feel good about themselves. This might be a codependent and narcissistic type of relationship, because they don't know why you left. They don't understand. maybe if I were to send flowers to Gemini, or if I kind of like approach Gemini and flirt with them and everything like that, they would want to give in to me. I don't know, should I do that or not? My ego is very, very big. What happens if Gemini then reject me again? Do I need to look aloof, nonchalant, and detached, or should I kind of like give in and then back away? So I think they're much more dealing with the lack of closure more than them having like a very, very deep emotions towards you. All right. So now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 2. Queen of Wands, 7 of Cups in reverse, Page of Pentacles, and also the Ace of Pentacles. Kind of like quite similar with the pile number 1, but like a little bit of a different scenarios as I could tell in here. What you see in them in the first place is going to be extremely different than who they are probably 3 months going into a relationship or 1 month going into the relationship, because they're a very, very prideful person, right? And they're also very, very ambitious as hell. Security, money, stability, everything means a lot to them. They feel that you guys are physically extremely attractive. And they're also trying to charm you with their physical attractiveness too. And you find them physically attractive too. But it's just that I feel that in the beginning, you guys had so much illusion about this person that once the honeymoon phase is over, you get to see who they truly are. No matter whatever it is that they are saying, no matter what is it that they're showing and everything like that, there will always going to be a Page of Pentacles. And as you can see here, this Page of Pentacles is very, very calculating, right? Because he or she, whoever it is that you're dealing with, whoever it is that you pick this card for, this person really believes that he or she offers something big. He brings or she brings a lot to the table. So he or she needs to make sure that whoever it is that he or she is investing into is a safe bet or safe investment. And it doesn't matter how long will it take for them to figure that one out? 1 year, 2 year, whatever that is. But they need to know that whatever it is that they're investing in is worthy. So if you are deep in emotion with this person, I suggest you to manage your expectations, because this is not the type of person who would choose to be with somebody because they love them. No. Depending on their tradition, their cultural beliefs, their religious beliefs, and whatever that is, this thoughts process, whatever they think is attractive for them to invest in, could differ. So for instance, if they were to be brought up in a very, very wealthy political type of family, meaning that they are going to find somebody with the same of political interests that will kind of like gain them into positions that they one day want to be in. Or if it's about cultural thing, maybe they would want to kind of like marry to the same cultures that they are. Something like that. So it's always somebody who falls in love with comfort rather than falling in love with the real thing or the emotional thing. And if you fall in love with this person, don't try to change who you are. Experiences, based off of my experience, is that falling in love with these type of people is not usually nice, because again, it's not based off love. But it kind of like depends how much earth placement that you guys have and what do you think about love and everything like that. But if you're looking for unconditional love, this is not the place. This is not the place. whoever it is that they choose to be with, they need to make sure that that person is going to look good, or I'm not going to say look good, but going to help them propel their career or their business ventures or whatever that is. Now let's move on to pile number 3, Hierophant, the Fool card, 3 of Cups in reverse, and also the 6 of Swords. This is what I call a prophet syndrome, somebody who thinks that they're so wise and so emotionally mature that they think that they're a prophet or a god, that other people who believe in the different thing that they are is wrong and they need to change it. How do they feel about you? They love the fact that you guys listen to them. They like to be listened to. They like to give you advice. They like to give you lecture. They like to give you wisdoms. That type of appreciation was the one that kind of like made them fall for you. Not the most loyal person on earth. And probably going to judge you based off of your friendship. Probably trying to isolate you from people who doesn't really agree or get along with this person. They kind of like feel the friendship aspect of the relationship is kind of like quite gone. So in the beginning, you guys were listening to them intently. Now that is kind of like a little bit gone. I don't know. I just feel that this person is just trying to change you. Because they believe, it's like a God complex or prophet complex, you know what I mean? It's like they like to be the teacher. They like to be listened to. They like to be in the right. They like to be acknowledged that they're in the right. So being in a relationship with this person is probably going to cost your friends and your family. Because this person doesn't agree to those people who doesn't get along with him or her. A funny person knows how to make a fool of himself, knows how to joke, and knows how to, make a joke about other people and everything like that, but highly sensitive as well. Do they see a potential of having a long-term relationship with you? They do. But again, with some consequences, they probably are going to try to isolate you from your friends and family. All right. So now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 4. Geez, none of you actually have a good deck pile of cards. 7 of Pentacles. It's a pros and cons, right? 4 of Pentacles and also the 9 of Pentacles. It's starting to feel like a personal reading here. But anyway. You got yourself a stalker. You got yourself somebody who is obsessed with you but would never ever admit that they're obsessed with you. You talking to them, you interacting with them, you having a relationship with them, you dating with them, everything like that, made them feel good. It makes them feel victorious for the first time. They probably were like a little bit of a dominant figure in the relationship, where in the beginning you're kind of like quite chasing after them and they got to do everything. And in the beginning they feel really, really good. Oh, this person sucks the hell out of you. Every single thing in ways that you probably cannot think of. But they would never admit that. Why would I admit that? I'm pretty. I look successful. I have a lot of things in my life that I can be proud of. Why should I be obsessed with you, Gemini? But there are. I mean, look at me. I'm doing fine with my own. I don't need you. Like, men or women come after me. I'm not obsessed with anybody. You sure about that? You sure? Having a relationship with them means that you need to kind of like compromise of letting them win in something. You have free wills, right? I'm not saying a lot of bad things. I mean, there's like a lot of pros and cons with other people. But if you really want to make this relationship work, you need to at least make them win about something. Probably in sex, or maybe in what paintings that you put in your room, or whatever that is. Let them have their win. Just one. Because you're the only person who can make them feel very, very good about themselves. And when you kind of like pull that attention away from them, they're like, whoa. Where is this person who usually lift me up? Where is this person who usually like this and that, this and that? So afterwards, they probably are like giving you the impression that they're turning their backs on you because they feel like they invested a lot. They've done like a lot of efforts into this relationship, that now it's kind of like your time. They need like a lot of explanations and da 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 da. But I don't feel that you gave that to them. And because you did not give that to them, it kind of like made them even more and more and more and more obsessed. This person is obsessed, but they will never ever show it to you. They hide behind a facade. They hide behind a mask. What you see on social media, what you see on profile picture, what you see, or what they say to you that they can live without you and everything like that is a lie. This person spends minimum 6 waking hours, 6 hours in their waking time just to stalk you, just to figure out what the hell is wrong with you, just to think about you, basically. So this person is obsessed with you. Not really healthy, but I mean, it's your free will, right? Okay, so I think that is it for my reading for you, Gemini. I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity that you've been looking for. And I really do hope to see you next week for your weekly reading. All right, bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.